So,
Hey everybody, I'm Nina Taylor.
and I'm Bishop Ernest E. Richard Jr. And today we take this time to come to you and share with you a beautiful and very, very energetic weekend that just took place not that long ago. We're talking about the 2024 Spin Awards. Well, Nina, it's good to see you again.
Yes.
Enjoyed being in your presence. So much to talk about. So let's just start from the beginning, shall we?
Well, luckily this time we had no additional drama trying to get there as opposed to last year when you and I both had to take the MARTA, which
Yes. Yeah, no words. No words. In case we have to take the MARTA again. We don't want the conductor to throw us off the train.
no, no. But this year I had no issues getting there. I left early, and I was actually on a fast for the whole week. And I
Beautiful.
said I was going to break it when I got to Atlanta. So as soon as I landed, Bishop actually picks me up from the airport. They said, "We're getting a car this time." And I said, "I gotta have breakfast right now." So we
Yes.
went to Waffle House in
Yes.
Point.
In East Point. It was a beautiful place too.
It
And
was.
I have to say this, our people, meaning African Americans, the people of culture in the city, they just kind of know how to do stuff. The atmosphere was electric.
Yes.
Nobody was bothering anybody. It's just that you felt the friendliness. And
Yeah.
our
That's
waitress
that
was just
country.
off.
That
Yeah,
country
that's what it
friendly.
was. Our waitress was really off the chart. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed her.
Yeah.
Just such a sweetheart and was so attentive too. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, there ain't too many restaurants I go to, and I'm sorry, I gotta say it, folks. I go to a lot of restaurants, and most of them are pretty decent. But
Yeah.
when you're dealing with a Waffle House, she gave us 5-star attention,
We
and
actually.
I was excited about that. So I was only happy to give it a $1.50 tip. No, I gave it more than $1.50, folks. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, we actually did. And the grits were superb.
Yeah.
So we leave there and we make our way to the hotel. And at this point, now did we stop somewhere else on the way? Because
Yes,
I was
we
like, we
did.
have to get back. We have to get there by 2 o'clock so I can be dressed and ready to go.
Mhm.
So we did a couple of stops. I think it was a shopping issue, wasn't it? We had to buy some last
Yeah,
minute
it
stuff.
was two shopping
Yeah.
malls that we went to and
Yeah.
got to go. And of course, just like any woman would, you found your shoe section and started collecting shoes.
Well, I only bought two pair of shoes with me, so of course I had to buy four more,
Mhm.
just in case.
A
Yeah.
shoe collection, just like I said.
I think I bought a couple of things. The shoes. I didn't buy all the shoes that day. I just bought two pair that day. And I
Uh-huh.
bought another dress for some reason, which was a good thing because one of my, how you carry a bottle of lotion and you have all this stuff.
Yes.
Well, one of them, the top must have came off and it got all over the dress that I initially was going to wear. And I didn't know that at the time. I just bought that dress because of the price. So,
Yes.
look at God again.
Yes, God had you all set up. I mean, I often say with not necessarily TSA, but the people
Yeah,
who handle the cargo,
yeah,
they be throwing stuff
exactly.
5 miles across. It's
Yes.
amazing that
I
the
watched them.
dog.
I sat in the window seat of the plane and watched how they just throw our stuff.
Yeah,
How they are very, very rough with our bags. And I
yeah.
think you need to think about that they're not going to be gentle with your luggage or
So
carry.
don't put anything
Yeah,
fragile
yeah,
in
don't
the
do that because
suitcase.
I had a couple things broken on the way back, which we won't get into. But yeah, I did have a couple things broken on the way back, which doesn't surprise me at all. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so the Dope Women in Radio started at
Yes,
5, well, supposed to. So we got over there about 3:45. We were on time, but it
yes.
started a little late. It started.
That's all right. And that's
So
probably why it
yeah,
started late because we were on time. No, I'm joking, folks.
I said, we're on time. It started just a tiny bit late. They were, getting everything set up, which they had everything absolutely lovely. They put together, this was actually my first time. I've been going to the Spin Awards. This was year 7 for me, year 7. And this was the first time I made it on time for Dope Women in Radio. I was gonna go last year, but when I got there, it was actually going on. So
Mhm.
I just went upstairs and did the whole change thing and just, said, "Where's the food?" So it was a lovely ceremony. I was worried because everybody was so eloquent when they spoke, and it was just so, and I was last.
That's all right.
I
But you
was
see, the thing
inducted.
about it,
Sheila Bell, of the Bell
yes.
Court, was actually inducted the same time I was, and it's a whole list of people. These are two that I know because I follow them. I listen to their show. But Yielded, which they had her real name on, so I didn't know it was her at first until she told me, and I said,
Uh-huh.
"Hey," I was really so excited to meet her because I've listened to her show as well. I've heard
Mhm.
Sheila on the radio, and I'm acquainted with the other people, but I never, met them or anything like that. But was
Mhm.
an all-star lineup of ladies, and I was very proud to be in that number. Anyway, I was called last, and I was
Mhm.
scared because everybody was so good before me. They were so
Well,
good.
you know what it is, and I'll say this: sitting in the audience, you couldn't tell that you were nervous. You couldn't tell that
Uh-huh.
you were trouble. But I understand. You know the old phrase, "Save the best for last."
I,
I'm not going to say too much of anything except that if they were saving the best for last, they made a wise choice in who they
wow.
decided to make last. Because first of all, your testimony was powerful. Number
Thank
one. I
you.
mean, you were honest, right to the point, and
Yeah.
it touched hearts, touched lives, and really ministered to people. So I
Yeah.
want to again say congratulations on being inducted into the Dope
Mhm.
Women of Radio's
Mhm.
ministry at the Spin Awards.
Mhm.
And we pray that whoever could, that when you pass the baton, should you pass the baton, the
Yeah.
person comes behind you somehow manages to find a way to outdo you. That's going to be pretty hard to do, folks, because she's already done enough. I mean, they started
Oh,
reading her
wow.
resume. I said, is this a resume or a book? Which is it?
Yeah, well, I didn't know how did they get all this information?
Well, you know what? And it's funny you should say
Uh,
that because anytime anybody's looking for
mm,
anything on any one of us, so,
yeah,
the
somehow you
internet,
could find it.
it's
Well,
not hard
my
to find
bio is
right
in
there.
various places. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know if it's on my website or not, but yeah, they had a lot of information. I was like, where'd they get that? And that picture, I was not happy with that picture, however. I was like, where'd they get that picture?
That was last year's picture, wasn't it?
No, I don't know how
Well,
they got that picture.
wow. So
That
we
was
had a
not
picture. We
last
had
year's picture.
basically we had a picture from like 3 years ago or something like
Yeah,
that.
that picture was pre-COVID. So I was like, where did they get that picture?
Did you just say
Apparently they must have
pre-COVID?
liked it was. That picture was pre-COVID.
Okay.
That picture was before I had my studio. So
Okay.
yeah, I said, where did they get that picture? It's just
Hmm.
unbelievable. Remember, if you post something up, 10 years from now, somebody could pull it up. So once it's
Exactly.
up there, you can take it down all you want, means nothing
Hmm.
because anybody can take it. So be very wise when you're posting things. If you say, well, 10 years from now, I don't want anybody to ever see this, then don't put it up at all because they could
Exactly.
actually, I don't have that picture up anywhere, but somehow they got a hold to it and there you go. But anyway,
Okay.
it was a beautiful night. I think after that, then we go for food and we were just
We
kind of
went to get the
like,
amenities we needed to get
yeah,
through the week,
yeah,
got some food, and
yeah,
got back and caught a showcase, which was
yeah, we
pretty
did.
nice showcase.
Yeah, yeah, they
Very
had
nice
uh,
showcase. I
very
enjoyed
nice
it.
showcase.
I don't know about you, but and then we got what they had. Yeah, I don't want to call it the battle of the DJs, but
Yeah, oh yeah.
I would say the DJ showcase is what I'll
Yeah,
call
and
it.
that was
And
something new. That was new this
that
year.
was
Uh,
very new, and it
the
was very
DJ
good
battle was
too.
something very new. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good. I mean, not that they battled like you would normally
Uh-huh.
see a DJ's battle. They
Yeah.
complemented one another,
Yes.
so just sitting there listening and watching them do what they do, I could tell that I wasn't up in age, but some things, hey, what can we say about it? It
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
it is. But
Uh-huh.
to God be the glory, because when the night ended, of course, got a chance to see faces that we hadn't seen in a year. And
Yes,
a good
yes.
friend, and I mentioned Cedric Barnett only because of the fact that, we become good friends,
Uh-huh.
having just met last year, and just a humble young man. Such a humble young man. I got to finally see people like Rufus and of course Minstrel Appointed,
Yeah.
always looking as elegant as she does, even in the midst of running around, almost tearing her hair out, trying to get
Yeah.
stuff done. Her staff was amazing too,
Yeah, they always are.
Many of them, I don't know why they remember me, but they remember me. So I said, okay,
Everybody remember you. I mean, I think you make a statement wherever you go. Yeah.
I don't. Well, we have to discuss that. We have to put that on the agenda.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, and so, we got through that night. And then, of course, the next morning, I had to go do a little bit of shopping
Yeah.
because I inadvertently discovered that my tuxedo shirts were not matching the suits.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I had to get up, grab my son, who happens to live in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And kind of drug him out of bed and had made him take me shopping, run around a little bit, and then had a nice little surprise for you and your wonderful sister. And
Yeah.
both of y'all, we picked you guys up and took you to a special shop that I go to in Atlanta every time I go down there. And I
Yeah.
mean, special shout out, if you don't mind, to our
Yeah.
dear friend Ferrera,
Oh, yeah.
Ferrera Oils. I mean,
Yes,
we
I
went
smell like
down
that
there.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say she outdid herself this
Yeah.
time around,
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
every time I go in there, I know I'm gonna spend a couple $100 when I go. But
Absolutely. It's easy
yeah,
to do.
this time, and she introduced me to some new oils.
Mhm.
She does that every time I see her anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just the point, the whole atmosphere was just supercharged,
Super
and then we
charming.
got
Yes.
got ready for that Friday night. Of course, we went, had lunch, did everything we need to do, got a little bit of rest, and I do mean a little bit of
Yes.
rest. Yeah, long
No
enough to
rest.
lay down. Yeah, just lay down and know that there was a pillow on the bed, and that the
Yeah.
mattress had a bit of touch of firmness to it. And then it was time to get up, get ready. Got up and got ready, and oh
Yes.
boy, that's when all the shenanigans started. Good, not bad shenanigans,
Good.
but good shenanigans.
Yeah.
So
We didn't
I
stay
would
at the host hotel.
no.
We stayed someplace else, so we had to travel there. So it was my sister and I and Bishop. Did we pick anybody up on the way, or was just us three going?
No, we didn't pick
Yeah.
anybody up until it's time to go to
Okay.
the
Okay.
Saturday show.
Okay. So this was the pre-show, and we were all set to be presenters at
Mm-hmm.
pre-show. So
Mm-hmm.
Bishop, he let us out the car, and then he went to park the car, and he came in and he's wearing this pink. You have to go to my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to see this pink jacket. And seeing it on picture does not do it justice because it was very bright. So he comes in and he stands in the doorway like, I'm here. And everybody starts going, whoa. So why is everybody screaming? What happened? So we're looking around and there he is, and everybody is screaming and cheering, and they're like, wow. I said, oh my goodness.
But you know what I attribute that to? Again, it's the love and the appreciation,
Yeah.
And I will say this, folks, this year I was not nominated for anything, and
Mhm.
I was okay with that. I needed to support. I
Yeah.
just needed to
Thank
be
you.
there to be supportive. But for
Thank
somebody that had no nominations, you would think I was supposed to be there for a nomination.
Absolutely. And
But
I
it
was
was
there for Dope Women. I forgot that I sat in the
Yeah,
nomination.
well,
I
see, the
really
thing
did.
about it, they're never gonna forget you, okay? Because I mean, you've made your impact from day one, 7 years going, and this
Yeah.
is only my second year going.
Well, the
And
first year I just came as a spectator. The tickets were
uh-huh,
$20. I got a ticket. It was me and one of my cousins, and I bought the tickets, and we just were watching, and I met a lot of radio people, Simone Malone, just as a spectator. And I
yes,
said, hey, I've got a show.
uh-huh,
I was there to network the very first year.
yes.
And lo and behold, the following year, I get an email saying, you're a nominee. I'm like, what? I was
I
so
hear you.
excited.
I hear
I
you.
couldn't believe it. And, I knew I was on a lot of those stations, and a lot of
Hmm.
them actually had nominated me, and I just couldn't believe it. I was so overwhelmed. This was in
Wow.
2019. Now, this was 18 when I went. 17 is when they started it. And I had people
Hmm.
calling me and telling me all about it on the radio. I interviewed a couple people who had actually won something. And one
Uh-huh.
said, wow, I never heard of this. So I said, yeah, next year I said, make sure, send me the information because I like to check this out. So I flew there just to check it out and just the network. They said all the radio people from all over the country, out of the country, everybody's there. You gotta be there. So that's what I did.
Yes.
I just decided just to go. And then I've had a relationship with this uh, show ever since. You know, of course, in 20, I was nominated again, did not win anything. But again, I was going to come anyway because it was just an awesome time. I was already
Yeah.
set to come, not even thinking about any nomination, but I didn't win anything until 2021 was the first time that I
Wow.
had won a small market show and small market personality. And I won both of those. Doing the pre-show, I was actually out in the parking lot when they called
Mhm.
for the first one. So it was a
Wow.
real treat to, you know, this many
Mhm.
years. Like I said, that was never my intention to go there and get anything other than to network with other radio stations, promote my show, promote my news, which it was a
Uh-huh.
good thing.
Well, and I'll tell you, the first year I went, of course, was last year.
Yeah,
And the first year nominated for co-host of the year and won. And
yeah,
to me, that was a minor shock because
it was great.
I didn't go with any expectation.
No,
And again,
no, you
this year,
don't. You're just
no,
looking forward to being there and
yeah,
seeing
and this year
everybody.
I just went, same as I did last year to
Yeah,
support because I thought, having done award shows like that in the past, I just wanted to be there to
yeah,
support. It's a
absolutely.
great opportunity. And on top of that, this particular award show
Mhm.
actually is in total support of radio announcers and
Absolutely.
PR people. It's
Absolutely.
not about the artists. It is about the music, but it's not
Yeah.
so much it's about the PR people. It's about
Yeah.
the announcers
Yeah.
and program directors and people who are behind the scenes that don't ordinarily get any accolades. We push
Mhm.
and promote music. And excuse me, I'm just naming them when the Kirk Franklins and the Yolanda Adams and the Donnie McClurkins and
Uh-huh.
the
Mhm.
Ty Tribbett's, they're getting their awards, the Israel Holt and so on and so forth. You don't
Uh-huh.
hear we want to thank this radio announcer and that radio announcer and this PR company. You don't hear stuff like that. So that's what makes this one so special and
Yeah.
why I decided to just be a part of it. But anyway, we move into the night after the big blah, whatever you want to call it. And we get the opportunity to go on stage and do some presentations. Now,
Yeah.
I understand Stellar Award winner Amethyst was actually your host for that particular night. Very lovely young lady, very cordial, and
Mhm.
very down to earth, easy to talk to, not too beside herself. And I said not too beside herself because, I mean, come on, at the end of the day, when God elevates you like that, you got to fight off the case of the big head. And I know she was fighting it like a champ. But it was fun just to
Yeah.
watch her work. I appreciate her for the work that she did. And when our time came, believe it or not, and I'll say this now, Nina, when we went on stage, you would not believe that I almost forgot what it's like to be a presenter because it's been that long.
Yeah.
Really, it has been that long. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm used to hosting shows,
Yeah.
not doing presentation on shows. So it was kind of like I had to kick back in gear from 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Because as you know, and not to give credence or make mention, I did another show up in New England and I did that show for 15 years
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
never hosted. I mean, never presented on that show.
Uh-huh.
Actually presented twice on that show, but hosted the show for the
Yeah.
most part. So it was a nice little, you know, reminder. Let me
Oh,
know
yeah.
you ain't that big. You ain't all that. I don't think I'm all that anyway. You know?
I was making sure that I used my Grammy voice, which is one of the things I wanted to do on a television show, award show,
Yes.
coming up, So I used
Yep.
my Grammy voice and I was very excited. I think we did a great job.
I think we did a great job too. If you guys from the Spin Awards are watching, you might want to, we want to come help y'all host. Okay. Just want to put that out
We do.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so we actually presented 3 awards. I don't remember what
Yes.
they were, but they were 3, and all of our
Mhm.
people were there, weren't they? Yeah,
They
they
were
were
there
there. So that was awesome, and like I said, my sister was just she was very excited
just
about the whole thing,
beside yourself.
because she had never seen me do anything, not really. Our dad used to do my Father's Day show with me every year.
Uh-huh.
So he was super
Wow.
excited. And that's all she remembers as far as me doing radio, because back then, of course, we didn't have the internet and all that.
Hmm.
So she never really got to hear me do anything. So it was great. But now she can. I mean, she listens to me. I have shows on all over South Carolina, and she can listen to me anytime of the day, every day. So that was great. So we go on to the next day. We did a little bit more shopping.
Yep. Some more
um,
shoes.
we did. Then I bought two more pair of shoes,
Yeah.
and we had to get back to get ready for the red carpet night. That was
Yeah.
night, and of course, as always, the place is lovely. I really do enjoy
Yes.
that place where they have it, the main show. This is the
Yep.
second year that they are there. We had the pre-show back at the hotel, which was
Uh-huh.
cool. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
having everything in one spot. Back in 20, when
Uh-huh.
COVID, we were in the heart of COVID, we had
Uh-huh.
everything in the
In
hotel,
one
checking
spot.
everybody's temperatures before we went in. It was
Yep.
nuts. And I remember somebody did have a fever and they wouldn't let her in, and she went berserk. I mean, that was no good. And I said,
Mm-mm.
what happens if somebody actually comes up with and they didn't do the red carpet. They only had you on the carpet like one at a time. It wasn't all packed like they normally have it.
Yeah.
They had it one person on the carpet because I was the last one. And when I was on the red carpet, I was by myself with the girl who was doing the interviewing, and that was it. So, we've
Well, I'll
come,
tell you.
yeah, we've come a long way since COVID.
Oh, yeah, the
Everyone
red
is a little bit
carpet
more
by
relaxed.
itself.
Yeah.
Think
Mhm.
about the red carpet was elevated because
Yeah.
now on the far end of the red carpet, there was a mini stage.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a mini stage and photo op section. There were two
Yeah.
of them on both ends.
Yeah.
And then there was a sit down interview at the very end. But this year, I decided to do some media work
Yeah.
and do some interviews. And on the red carpet, of course, she talked about the pink suit, but the
The
red,
red suit.
the blood red suit,
Yeah.
I call myself toning down. Somebody says look like you stepped up. I
That
don't
was
know,
toning down. Okay. The red suit was red from head to toe. The
uh,
pink was just the jacket. And he had on, tuxedo pants with the pinstripe down the side and all that. But the red suit was from head to toe. I said, you're a cross between a temptation and a pilgrim jubilee. So
that's a shame. And I didn't know any of their steps. Anyway, but we did get the opportunity to interview and had some very good interviews,
yeah,
and I mean the atmosphere as usual was,
it was a lot
electric.
more
It was
relaxed this year.
yes,
It wasn't super,
it
super
still had that
crowded, super
elasticity
hot.
to it.
Yeah.
I got to see my good friend Everett Drake.
Yeah.
We only got to now when I was going down working with Dr. Bobby Jones, I saw him from '05 to about 2010, something like that. And then,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
as ministry began to expand, I had to kind of pull away from it. But Everett and I always had a great relationship. And we do talk to each other from time to time, not that often, but just to
Yeah.
see each other, take 10 seconds to go back over old times and then just see him in the place. It was wonderful seeing him. I saw
Absolutely.
another dear friend. Real quick story before we move on to some of the winners. And I didn't even realize that she reminded me. When I came up to her, I said to Liz Black, I know you probably aren't going to remember me. The first thing out of her mouth, Ernest Richard. She turned around and says to her son, this is the man that offered me a job at WNHU. That was the station I was the program director over
Mhm.
when I was just on college radio. I'm thinking to myself, well, we were college radio too, but you see, that station at that particular time had
Mhm.
become Stellar Award ready.
Mhm.
So that's probably how we got out there. But truth of the matter is, I was going to have her come in and work with me. And, she did a couple of things. And, I guess she enjoyed it. I didn't see her anymore, but I didn't think she would remember that. So that was an honor to see her. She was there last year, but I didn't get a chance to say hello.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
I've
was
seen her in
just,
lots of places. I saw her
yeah,
in Texas and also in Virginia
she
last year.
traveled.
So we actually got to meet, and I asked her to
Mhm,
take a photo with me. I was trying to get a photo with her this year, but
mhm.
everybody was all, or you know how it can be.
Yeah,
So I didn't
but
get the
I'm
photo this year.
but that's quite all right. So, I mean, at the same time, she is who she is. And then, of course, I met some brand new people, some very dynamic people, some
Yeah.
beautiful people.
Yeah.
Got a chance to talk with the host, Tony G, for about 5 seconds. And of course, all this is on the run, okay, while everybody's
Yeah.
trying to pull
We're on the
things
trip.
together.
Yeah.
Such, just great things just happening. We
Mhm.
get off the red carpet and we go into the show. And the music ministry, I'm getting ready to call him the Gospel Garth Brooks. I'm trying to remember his name. But
Yeah. Well,
his
you'll
his,
know it
his
after our interview. So
yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. That young man set the precedence.
he really
I
did.
mean,
Yeah.
his song, God will, God does, and God can. And
It
that part,
God is, God is.
yeah, God will, and God can. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you honestly, it set the precedence
It did.
for the night
Mhm.
because all it did was get, and I'm gonna tell you some bad English people, so try not to change the channel. All it did was get gooder and gooder.
Better.
That's
It
all it
did.
did. Just got gooder and gooder.
Well, I had also mentioned that it is well. What's her name? She's got her talk
Oh,
on this week.
Stevenson,
Yeah, Monica Lisa
Michael
Stevenson
Lisa
was
Stevenson.
there.
Yes,
You know, she's been on the show. Ruth LaAntra totally,
yes,
when she got done, it was time to go home. It was like,
yeah,
that's
pretty
it.
much.
She tore up the place.
Let the church. Hey, that was a let the church say amen moment.
Amen. It really was.
Let's just go on.
But
Take up the
those
collection and let's leave.
I hear that somebody again did not show up. We won't say his name, but another artist who has been
No,
on the flyer for several
for
years. And I haven't
3 years,
seen him yet.
about 3 years. Yeah, but that's all right. You know why? And see, people got to realize, and I'm
Mhm.
going to take this moment as a reminder moment for those of you that are aspiring up and
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah.
People will remember you going up, but if you happen to start coming down,
Oh yeah.
those whom you were good to will remember you. So, don't get so big. Don't let your pants be twice the size that they really should be. Y'all read between the lines on that one.
Okay. Can we go into kind of the winners list now?
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame this year was Jerry Silvers and Tony G, which
All
Tony G
right.
was the host. You think he knew about it? He was like, he looked like he was
You
like,
know,
what
that was
is
the
going
best
on?
kept secret because he looked shocked.
He did. He
He
looked like,
couldn't put
what?
what?
That's the way I kind of was like, did they say Nina or Tina? That's
No, they said Tony because I mean Tony's looking around like he's looking for
what?
Tony G.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we're talking about you.
We're talking about you, or like a big
Uh,
said to me last year, that's you, that's you.
that yes, and
What?
and Jerry, just as humble as he can be, I
Yeah.
can appreciate Jerry. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know if he knew it was coming. He probably had some idea that it was going to
Yeah,
take place, but
I
I'm
would
very sure
imagine that the people
that
getting
they said something.
the
Yes,
honors were
yes,
conducted. The Encourager Award went to Dr. C.L. Williams.
uh-huh,
Um, Impact in Radio Award went to
yes,
DJ Iceberg 365.
yes,
Her name is Amanda Healy. The Radio
yes,
Icon Award, that was Liz Black. They honored her with
yes.
that, so that was awesome.
Mm.
Radio Man of the Year, Walter K. Is
Walter
it Walter
KO.
Ko or Walter KO? Which one is
Walter KO,
it?
they call
Okay,
him.
so he was the
I
man
mean,
of the
just
year.
as cool as a cucumber walking across the stage.
Yeah.
But when he got there, I mean, funny, witty, charming,
Uh-huh.
intelligent. Had a
Mhm.
chance to talk to him on the red carpet, talk to
Yeah.
him back off camera.
Uh-huh.
You would love the brother's spirit. I mean,
Yeah.
just as humble as he can be. You have
Mhm.
Woman
I
of the
need my
Year
glasses.
with Dr.
Mhm.
Our good friend Cheryl Montgomery.
Now
You know,
Cheryl, she got the Radio Woman of the Year.
that's what I said, Radio
Um,
Woman of the Year.
Service and Radio Award went to Blue Mile.
Uh-huh.
Best Afternoon Show of the Year, Florida Fresh Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Best Late Evening Show, Christian Music Spotlight with Brian David, No Judgment,
Yep.
Us Realness. Hello.
Yes.
Best
Yes.
Live Radio Show of the Year, Fire. Best
Yeah.
Morning Show of the Year, Selah. The
Uh-huh.
McConnell People's Junior Morning Show.
Yes.
Best New Station went to CL Radio.
Yep.
Best Radio Show of the Year, Be Inspired with Shoggy Shaws. Am
Shag
I saying that right?
yes. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Shaggy Shugs. That's his name.
Best Radio Show with two or more hosts, Effortless Praise with Sydney Lassiter the Third.
Quick
We got Best
sidebar. I would have
Variety
loved to have
Show. Oh, go ahead.
just quick. I would have loved to have given that award away.
That would
I
have
would
been
have loved
nice.
to have given that's so Minister, if you're watching, I want to give that one away one year.
Best Variety Show of the Year, DL's Backstage Pass. Years
Yes.
ago, DL won everything. Backstage
Mm-hmm.
Pass Conversations radio show. Best Weekend Radio Show of the Year, God's Calamari with MC Nice, who wasn't there. I hear that he had some kind of an injury, so pray for
Yes.
MC Nice. I'll
Yes.
look
Keep
forward
them
to
in your
seeing him.
prayers.
I've seen him all over. I've seen him in Texas, and he was also in Virginia. So miss seeing him this year. Blog Talk Speaker Radio Broadcast of the Year, Can I Change Your Mind?
My
That is
God.
the boy Cedric Barnett show. And he also took home Blog Talk Speaker Radio Host of the Year, Cedric Barnett. Co-host of the year went to Gerard Holmes. I don't know what show that is. Do you know his show?
I've heard of it. I've not actually heard it, but I'm going to make it my business to go and try to find it because I would like to know.
Okay. DJ of the year was DJ Don,
He was
International
something
Radio
else.
Show of the Year. Now we're actually on this. We're on both of these stations. These are international. Gospel 107.1 in the Bahamas, and I was with them just this past June in Nassau at the live concert. They all came down. Their station was actually the host station, and we had an awesome time. And I emceed the show along with them, so I got to work with them and be with them.
Very nice.
And we're also on So Arise Radio in Antigua, where you can also hear the countdown and all of my shows there on that station. So it was a tie for international.
I got a question. If I go to either one of these countries, am I getting free coconut milk or?
I don't. I don't. They might bring you some. Just ask them. The internet radio announcer, host person of the year, personality of the year was Roger. Internet station was KPMM Online Radio. Media major market radio announcer of the year was my girl, Tracy Morgan. Also hear me on her show as well.
Love her to life.
Yes, absolutely wonderful. Major medium market radio personality of the year, Latoya Dowdell Berger. So
that's it.
Congratulations to her. Also, radio show of the year, medium major market, Talks with Toya. Which she took home quite a few, didn't she? The radio station of the year was Holy Culture Radio. Outstanding radio station, WGSR Gospel Sounds Radio. Our boy, that is Robert's station. And absolutely incredible. I was very happy for him. He had said that he was in the hospital recently and he had coded.
And he coded. He was near flatlining, but God. Amen. So we're excited for Robert.
We are very excited.
And by the way, Nina, let me say this too. Robert, by the time you see this, congratulations. We thank God for you and for all that you've done. We celebrate you, sir. And I was looking for you to come in sharper than a Mississippi sheriff, but he toned down for real.
But he's still look good. Very stylish.
He still looked very good.
He didn't have on the gold metallic suit from head to toe.
Listen, after that, I said, where are we going from here?
Podcast of the year was Angel Victoria. Radio Network of the year, Indie One Music, One Radio. We're actually on that station as well. See, Spin Awards was the best thing I could have ever done because I would not have none of these nominations, none of these awards, and I would not have been able to meet any of these people. How would I have been? So a lot of these people are still very much a part of the Spin Awards family, and like I said, we're a part of their family as well as the Spin Awards too.
Amen.
Radio station of the year was Christian Mix 106. Felt that in my spirit. What that they would say it that way. Small market radio announcer host of the year was yours truly. Nobody was more surprised. I said, "Was I in that?" I was looking. My sister said, I think, she said, "I saw your face."
I think about that small market. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Listen, we're on a lot of small markets. We're also on a lot of major markets. We're on a lot of national markets. Hey, it's still a blessing. But yes, we are. This is where it all started. Everything started in San Antonio. I don't know how small San Antonio is, but that's where everything started. It went from San Antonio to Los Angeles to Dallas, it was like to Chicago. So we're on a lot of major cities, but also small ones too. And I'm thankful to all of them. So thank you.
Amen.
The radio station small market show of the year was New Artist Profile. That's
Mm-hmm.
Tony D, not Tony G, but Tony D is an awesome show. That's an awesome show.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful show.
All
I
right.
asked him, hey, he needs to come on the show with us sometime. Small market radio station of the year,
Our
worship
friend,
94.5 FM in Huntsville, Alabama.
you got
All right.
that right. Our friend,
Station
Mr.
manager,
Robert.
program director of the year was also Tony D. And the voice
Uh-huh.
of the year was Robert Barnes. All
Of
right,
course.
Robert.
Or
Yes,
as they
that's
say,
it. That's all the
hey,
winners. That's everybody.
well, Nina, we gotta do Robert right. Let's do him. Let's give him a hood shout out. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
look, I'm getting a text from my oldest sister that you met, and she's the oldest. And she's
Yes.
texting me because she can't reach my brother who's in the hospital. But anyway, also thank you to everybody. I'm not kidding. I got calls from around the world. All I did
Yes.
was I was completely helpless. I text you. I text you first. Y'all
Yes.
were in prayer at that moment.
And we
And
went
then I
prayer
went on
immediately.
Facebook and I said, I need my friends, everybody praying
Mm-hmm.
for my brother. And my phone never stopped ringing for like 2 days. They were calling me
Mm.
from Ghana, from Nigeria, from South Africa. I was getting calls from Trinidad, from
Yes.
everywhere. I mean, from Canada. Lots of calls from Canada. They heard about your suit
Yes.
and he called me back. But everybody was calling. They was like, Nina, we are praying for your brother. And I was just it was just overwhelming. I just sat here and just cried because I
My
know
God.
that all that prayer going up for him. I mean, if you seen him right now, you would never believe that 2 weeks ago he was like dying. He was like this close to death. He was
Mm.
paralyzed from the waist down. He couldn't walk. He couldn't do anything. They had tubes coming out of his neck. It
Mm.
was just insane. I don't want to, it's not my testimony. I'm just a witness,
That's it.
it
That's
was
it.
it was it was just something, something to see. And even then, when they asked us, they said, well, and I'm not saying that they said it this way because they didn't care, because I'm sure they're dealing with life and death every day. But they were like,
Uh-huh.
we should, Coach, do you want us to try and revive him?
Yeah.
I said, what? It's so crazy. And now we heard out later that they asked him that as well. But then they asked us. I'm like, of course we do. What are you saying? Are you
Uh-huh.
kidding me? You know? And I'm
That's
not
right.
saying, I mean, that's probably what they do, but it just made me feel some type of way. But I'm just thankful. I know that there was nothing they could have done. It was all God. It really was. He really did
Amen.
save his life. But I'm thankful to everybody. A lot of the people who were telling me they were praying were there at the Spin Awards, and they were coming up to
Yeah.
me asking me about him. So it's just awesome. And I thank you, Bishop, everybody. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
We had such a beautiful time. I can't wait till next year. That
Yes.
will be year number 9, near year 8 for me, year 3 for him. But we're going to be in the place. And we just love it. Whether we have nominations or not,
Excuse me.
a great event. We love going there, being with friends, and having a great time.
Well, folks, we are going to come back with you. We've got some other great things coming up. We do have a cruise coming up very soon. We do have a Christmas show coming up. So look for us on your channels, wherever we may be.
Mhm.
For the Gospel Countdown and for Nina News, I'm Bishop Ernest E. Richard Jr.
I'm Nina Taylor, and we thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.